corner of the map.
There we go.
We've got in the blue. Color's wrong. No worries about that. If you're colorblind, you're super happy right now. Ladies and gentlemen, he's Targa. He's facing off against his opponent in the bottom left-hand corner, clad in the red. It is NaNiwa.
There he is, the red Protoss player. Good to go on Daybreak.
It's all right. You know, we didn't even cast that last game. We were just busy talking about vampire blood, werewolves, and hairy chests. I just thought of actually like a hairy chest, like a chest from Zelda. And I was like, that would be awkward.
Gandalf?
But everybody
Gandalf?
would probably get the joke. It just probably wouldn't be that funny.
Sometimes jokes aren't meant to happen. So
I always say that, man. That comedic theory. See, maybe if I believed in that, I would be funnier. It's kind of like if, you know...
Sometimes jokes just, they happen. You think they're going to be funny and they come out, and some people just don't have the same humor, you know? You just got to go with them.
Delivery. I mean, delivery is a lot of things.
Delivery is pretty important when you do stand-up comedy. You got to be really confident when you're doing it, but timing is also really important. You gotta learn how to gauge like human reaction and how they're going to actually listen to the joke. And if they're going to kind of want the joke to finish up, or if they want to actually, if they want the joke to finish up, then you hold back, you wait for the joke to come, and it builds suspense, and then you kind of deliver it. But it's all about reading your crowd, man. You can't go in with the preset of timings or whatever. You just gotta have a good feel.
Preset timings.
Yeah, you can't. Anywho, any weird timing coming from NaNiwa. He's actually opening with the gateway first here. And with him going for earlier Nexus in a majority of his plays, he didn't do it in game number 1, but with him opening with a Nexus and a couple of other builds that he went for, being known for wanting to go Nexus first, there is a possibility of a 7 or a 9 pool coming towards your way. So NaNiwa, with him being up 1-0, just wants to play a little bit more careful here, going for a gateway first, followed up into a pylon, and going to a Nexus. And this does look like it's pretty similar to the build that he actually went for on Cloud Kingdom, which was really set up to go for, what was it, 4 Zealot pressure?
Yeah, he did opt to go in with a couple of Zealots there and get in a mediocre amount of damage, but mostly caught up. Targa in this situation is, well, we'll have to wait and see what he opts to do for against it. No third base, which is going to be really nice for him, of course, after scouting that gate next. So, Cyber Core's on the way now for NaNiwa. I'm going to be really interested to see what happens in the future. Now, I love dealing with this against this, with roaches. I just hate using Zerglings against Zealots. I feel like it's just so terribly cost inefficient no matter what. We do see the gas going down for Targa, though. It's a lot later from what we saw before. NaNiwa now is going to be throwing down that second gateway and the third one, as we would expect.
There we go. So pressure will be on the way here for NaNiwa. And I want to go back to the Zergling. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, taking Zealots out with Zerglings, you just have to have Queen support there. If I don't have my Queen support there, you're right. I feel like I need to have Roaches. The only problem with going Roaches is the gas, of course. You're throwing a lot of gas into an early defense, and they're trading in minerals, essentially, for the gas that you're going for to get the Roaches out. So it kind of slows down your lair game tech overall, which can be quite a pain in the rear and throw off your timings and force you to play a little bit more impromptu. So that could be the decision here for NaNiwa, if his opponent did, of course, follow up with Roach defenses. And we do actually have the Zealots now popping out, and last time he went for, what was it, 3-4 Zealots before he finally started moving across the middle of the map. The difference for this map, though, is Cloud Kingdom is a little bit smaller than Daybreak.
Yeah, it definitely is a much larger map here. Let's see what NaNiwa decides to opt to do with it. His Warp Gate tech is about 3/4 of the way done. We could have a much larger emphasis in the attack here from NaNiwa. We'll have to wait and see. Zerglings are going to escape for now. Speed is on the way for Targa. One of the things I'm thinking that I'd love to see against this build would be double evolution chamber upgrades, actually. Like, instead of using your gas for that, and rely purely on queens and spine crawlers in order to mount a defense versus the zealots. It'd definitely be a little bit tough, but as you're saying, you know, going for the gases, I mean, here using it for speed, it's going to be helpful versus the zealots, but as we were saying, you know, zealots are already pretty cost efficient against Zerglings no matter what, and instead, you know, trying to get ahead for the later stages of the game. I think that's the entire point of the build here from NaNiwa, is to slow down the early game for Targa and make his late game a little weaker. And if you try to counter that instead with a reasonable defense and yet holding things off, but hey, look, now we've got Warbins here from NaNiwa. He's going to be laying on some serious pressure with these Zealots.
This aggression is really strong from NaNiwa. Very Zealot heavy base. He's also got a pylon up here in the top left corner. That's going to force the Ling and Roach pressure to be around that area. He's going to send that Zealot up there to deal with it, but he's actually just focusing down the hatchery. This is just a pure bait right here. He does get a Warpin though as well really quickly. Oh, unfortunately the last two do get canceled, but this hatchery is in trouble going down into the yellow. These two Zealots are just essentially taking a lot of damage. He's going to go ahead and engage here because he wants to save as much Zealot as possible. With this hatchery, it is going to go down. A Spinecrawler is on the way at the natural. Notice how he has a defensive Spinecrawler here. He knows he can't get one up in time. He just wants to be able to have roaches and defend his natural base. But him losing this third is really painful. Behind this, 3 assimilators are going up for NaNiwa, so he will be taking out right out of it.
Yep, Zealots are now going to make their way into the natural expansion. Spinecrawler is completed, as you were pointing out. Some roaches are getting ready to spawn. 2, Targa is standing still to take a lot of damage, though. Drones are starting to die here. NaNiwa with his Zealots getting in quite an amount of damage. The Queen factoring in some good range damage as well. Drones are doing a great job microing into the corner. Nice target firing as well out of Targa, and he's going to clean this up without sustaining too much additional damage.
6 drones have been killed off. Checking into the harvesters here, 37 to 28.
Wow.
Targa is in quite a painful position at the moment. Robo is now on the way. +1 has been queued up for the Forge here, and this aggression from NaNiwa has paid off twice in this tournament, and it's because players aren't expecting it anymore. He's essentially using the thought process that Immortal Sentry's coming in, I have to drone up, I have to get my third out, I have to be ready for any aggression that'll come my way. He just he's taking full advantage of that. He's taking full advantage of other Protoss players' success.
Yeah, and as we can say, there's not a cool, calculated response to this build.
Yep.
Last time on Cloud Kingdom, you know, our Zerg had way too many Lings left over at the end of the attack.
And roaches.
Yeah. In this situation, Targa, he's got some extra roaches. Roaches aren't the worst thing to have, though. If he had not stopped to kill that pylon, he could have gotten forward and gotten the +1. The Immortal's dangerously close to popping out now. He's actually not even going to go for it. I would have loved to see him try to snipe that Forge.
Well, Roach is now moving straight to the natural right away. Should be able to, if they can get in here and snipe this +1 though, that'd be really nice. But Chrono should be able to save it. Yeah.
Well, and also the Immortal's just so close to popping out. I mean, that's what I was saying. If he had not gone to the Xel'Nagathar, if he had not stopped for the pylon, I think he could have done it. But now it's just too late. He's gonna have to fall back.
That is quite hurtful. +1 range is now on the way here for Targa. What's his plan here? He has finished up layer. He's got 1, 2 gas. 3, 4 as well, so he's gonna be able to move up on tech really quickly. He's deciding to go ahead and go for Infestation Pit, and if he gets the Infestors out, there's always the opportunity to land a Money Fungal, and then perhaps there you can follow it up and kill off all sentries, and then do a full hard-on engagement. But still, overall, NaNiwa looking into him. He's gonna go ahead and snipe off this Overseer really quickly, but he's moving into +2 already on the way. He's actually trying to snipe that Overseer because he's got, what is here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gateways, 6 gateways, and a Twilight Council. So moving into Blink Tech, but overall, this isn't quite all in. He can still do an expansion down. But if he does another gateway or two, he can do a really strong attack on that third base. So I want to see what his plan is from here.
All right, well, NaNiwa is gearing up for potentially a little bit of pressure. We see the War Prism coming along with it as well. He's going to have Blink, Sentries, Stalkers, Immortals. This is very similar to the game we saw on Cloud Kingdom. 15 roaches on the way, however, right now for Targa as well, and he's working his way to Infestors, which are going to be incredibly good against what NaNiwa has, and he's going to have a good ground army to supplement it as well.
Alright, so it looks like he wants to be the aggressor, as you mentioned. +2 now on the way, just clear out a roach right away. Sentries are pretty much full on energy, so he does have a good, decent amount of force field available to him as he's heading towards that third. Now, although Target did see it, the Lings are already on the way. 20 of them have been queued up, 3 more Infestors about on the way as well, and he's looking to try and mount a good defense. So he has a good hefty amount of roaches, and needs to have that +1 though before he does fully on engage, and it looks like he will be getting on the way as NaNiwa is making sure to litter a pylon Cookie Crumb on the way there.
Yeah, he is, Robin. This is going to be a pretty powerful attack. Targa has some forces at the natural, could go for a flanking play here. We'll have to see if he can manage to clean up some of these units in the back. Of course, the Immortals, very, very important and valuable, but there's nothing here. Expect force fields in a second here at the natural. You can see the sentries, those top 2 sentries, trying to make their way to the ramp. They're kind of doing the, I don't know, the wiggle, or like just wiggling behind that Immortal. And Immortal was like, no.
The Wiggles.
Not letting you the way, man.
That's the worst show ever. Lots of Lings and roaches now on the way. Yeah, it's like a Disney animated, or not animated, it's just like a Disney.
I remember the song though. They had a song, didn't they?
They had like 300 songs. They were just like a singing kid for preschool, so I was not into it. Lings and roaches now going to go ahead and deal with the structural debris, trying to make an opening here, because that's kind of the next path that NaNiwa could take. He has this over here as well, and then the natural, but you want to make it to the point where you can actually engage with a full concave on the top of your ramp here. So NaNiwa being okay with just heading to that third and getting it killed off and going to go ahead and retreat back home. Overlord has put that creep down though. We'll slow him down a tad bit, but shouldn't do too much at all because he has really just put Targa so far behind.
He really has. Between sniping that third twice now, I mean, I don't know that we can say between. It's more outside.
Yeah, I feel like Targa needs a double expand, do something crazy, or A, just get super aggressive. And it looks like he's elected to go for super aggression. 9 Overlords are on the way. More Infestors are being queued up as well. +1 has been queued up at the same time. Yeah, he's going to go and start moving towards drones. I don't know, man. I really feel like this is quite painful for him. War Prism is trying to harass here in the main. It will get shut down, though, by some Infestors with the Infested Terrans that are needed there as well. NaNiwa looks like he's cleared out this third, so he will be expanding. And at this point, it's just important for him to A, keep it to Zelnaga, and get on an observer and just kind of hold the map.
Yep.
That's all he's got to do, really. I feel like he's got this game pretty much in the bag if he engages correctly, like he's been engaging actually all tournament long.
All right, Stalker's blinking forward right now. Gonna take out a couple of units there.
You see him focus down the roaches, actually, instead of the lings?
Yeah.
That wasn't an attack move. That was straight up focus on
That's
2 roaches.
actually really true. That's adorable.
Zealots are warped in right away down here in the bottom right corner. Even that ward, there was a pylon there, and it's been there for a while. And unfortunately, Targa actually walked by it and didn't kill it off. These Zealots are focusing down. Oh, that is so painful. Oh, that sucks so much. So many Zealots just straight up just attacking the hatchery. It was the last hit, too, that actually killed off that hatchery. And that's one of the situations where you're in a game, you're just like, nothing is going my way. And unfortunately, nothing is going for Targa. He's got Infestors. I mean, that's always going for a Zerg player, but still, really, really painful for him. He's only got +1. He's got the +1 Carapace about to finish off as well. So he's got +1 upgrades across the board. He's got the range, he's got the melee, and the Carapace. But his opponent's about to finish +3. Once again, NaNiwa just moving up into that +3 as fast as possible.
Yeah, now Targa does have a substantial supply advantage of about 33, but, well, I don't know, man. He's got NaNiwa is a very varied composition, and with that +3 attack, it's going to benefit those Colossi and Stalkers just so incredibly well. Targa, on the other hand, is going to have a little bit of a difficult time being able to reinforce after this initial attack. I mean, look at his bank right now. It's so empty. If he doesn't crush NaNiwa's army, he's very quickly going to start falling out of this game.
Well, a good fluster of lings, a lot of roaches coming. He's actually trying to go all the way around and maybe surprise NaNiwa with them being out of position here. Of the natural, and at that point, maybe he can snipe down this Nexus really quickly and pull back. But NaNiwa seems to kind of have an opinion of him coming that way, throwing up a gateway wall as well to make it a tad bit easier for him to deal with forces that are trying to deal with those gateways. He can kill lings very, very quickly while keeping the Stalkers back.
Yep.
A little bit of a flank coming down on the natural. There is a nice little wall in. Zealot already there. NaNiwa showing really great discipline in terms of just having every portal or any type of wave getting into his base is covered.
All right, well, Targa needs to find a hole somewhere right now because in this position, he is just running out of time, running out of options as NaNiwa pulls further and further ahead. I mean, he finally has a 4th base running, but that is a 60, yep, 60 workers to 70. And so he needs to get some damage in on NaNiwa. NaNiwa moving forward right now, finally getting out of this base, and that is likely going to mean, folks, he's getting ready for an attack.
Yeah, 3rd base is finished up. He's followed up into 4 gateways appear at the 3rd. He has the reinforcement power of essentially a Zerg at, what, 14 minutes? He's really, really strong here. Has a ton of gateways available for him. 3-1 about to finish up as well. He seems to really enjoy having 3-1 as his upgrades to attack into. Seems to really have it figured out. Breaking down these debris right in the middle of the map, just pushing forward straight to his opponent's 4th. And there are Infestors here. Those are really good units in terms of catching your opponent out of position. We'll see how NaNiwa handles the engagement.
All right, Roaches are very balled up right now. I'm so surprised Targa's not trying to set up some sort of a concave here. He's just letting a couple of units die. It's not like he's maxed out in this situation. Some Corruptors coming forward as well. Zerglings coming forward. He just keeps losing small groups of units. Very nice fungal growths, though, on those Stalkers.
Yeah, it's really hard to engage into a Protoss ball with these upgrades. He just knows he can't fight it. Unfortunately, he has to. He's going to move forward. The Roaches do get in there. The force fields are a tad bit late. The Lings are
the Infestors! The Infestors are so clumped right now.
Everything is just literally just dying. You see all those Lings run straight in and immediately just get killed off. The Colossi are way too strong. There are Crypt at the top corner. He does give the Warp Prism. That is certainly nice. He does blink forward and catches some Infestors, but up in over this area, just there's nothing really. Just a couple of Corruptors and a couple of Infestors, and by a couple I mean 7. And Spinecrawlers are now in trouble as well, as the Thermal Lance is going to allow the Colossi to tear him through. And now at this point, NaNiwa is moving into a 4th, and he can just slowly mathise when he moves his way forward. He's even going for a Dark Shrine, which will make it way harder for Targa to deal with anything. He's going to get really stressed in a moment if those Dark Templars do pop out.
Yeah, I mean, NaNiwa's letting his shields recover right now, and then he's going to be able to push for the win. He's got 167 supply to just 100, and he's not making anything. It's not like he has 70 units in production right now. NaNiwa, literally, his production tab's a pile on a Nexus, man, and he's up by 60 supply. And Targa has a lot in production. Now, he does have 2-2 about to finish, which is decent for Targa, but this is looking, folks, like NaNiwa may have secured an all-expenses-paid trip to IPL6 as he's going to move in here in just a second and try to secure his win.
A nice amount of Lings kind of huddled over here in the corner. All right, what's the play, man? What are we going to do? I don't know what we're going to do, man. Let's go for a counterattack. Well, that won't work either because NaNiwa is just dominating us. Stalkers and Immortals moving forward.
Brainstorming hardcore right now over there.
There we go. Going to start moving into the top left corner and watching Ling just be burned to pieces. The Corruptors are getting a nice couple of shots on the Colossi here. One does fall. A second one might die as well. That Colossus is getting pretty low on HP, but with Stalker support and some micro from NaNiwa, he's going to crush on through. 180 supply to 70. Targa GG, well played, smiley face, and it looks like NaNiwa is going to be the winner of our IPL6 qualifier.
Quite friendly in defeat, though, from Targa, and he is still going to manage to get a spot at IPL6. He is now more than welcome to compete, but NaNiwa playing incredibly well there with a 2-0 versus Targa is going to secure his spot at first, as you said, Tim, and get that all expenses paid trip, man, which is really, really nice. Get a lot more money to throw around while you're there.
Yeah, like some money, man.
Yeah, it's NaNiwa's gonna be like, Targa, let's go gamble. Let's go get
Play
dinner.
some blackjack. I'll teach them the ways. Guys, congratulations to Targa and, of course, NaNiwa making their way to the finals, as well as our other players that did play and unfortunately didn't make it as far. With that being said, guys, we do have the 2 giveaways. Remember, 50,000 followers, 50 beta keys, 4 Heart of the Swarm. We do have the Origin PC to give away at IGN.com/IPL giveaways. Correct. With that being said, guys, I want you to follow Kibbles really quick. He does not have quite at that yet 1,000 followers. I need him to get there. I don't want a single follower until he gets 1,000.
Mad quick.
Get it. Give him
follow
your Twitter.
Him at IPL Robin, and
no.
make sure you follow the IGNProLeague at IGNProLeague. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. We wish you all a pleasant evening. We'll see you guys later.